What's going on, everyone? It's Mr. West. I hope we're all well. So welcome back to another in the Ultimate Video Test series, and this time is for the Doogee S90. Now the Doogee S90 is a rugged smartphone from the Chinese manufacturer, and it is practically everything proof apart from maybe nuclear. So it's waterproof, it's heat proof, it's got military grade protection from drops, and it's a hell of a thing. It is an absolute unit, to quote a well-known phrase. And this video is to indicate what the video recording is like if you are thinking of purchasing this handset. Now, as with all Ultimate Video tests, I will leave all of the main camera specifications down in the description and just run through some of the high-level features throughout this video. Now, I do need to make you aware that the phone runs on a basic Google Play Services software package, and as such the camera software is also very basic. So you don't get anything like HDR or electronic image stabilization for the front-facing camera. There's also a single mono recording microphone, and there's no noise cancellation. So as I said, it is quite basic. However, if you are looking to purchase the phone, then this gives you an idea of what the phone is capable of. So starting with the front-facing camera, and this is a single 8-megapixel fixed focus camera. And as you can see, having no electronic image stabilization does give quite a shaky image. However, if you kind of keep your footsteps small, it does alleviate the bumpiness in the background. Now it does have automatic exposure control, so if I move the phone around, you should be able to see some detail in the clouds there. And as I move back to my face, it then prioritises exposure on me. It does tend to blow up the sky. However, most front-facing cameras are very much the same on pretty much all smartphones, even up to flagship level. Now it does have some sort of object tracking system, so I can see the little square popping up on the screen now and again, and this obviously means it is prioritising detail and exposure on me rather than the background. And then as I move around to show you some of the background there, you can see it is blowing things out slightly. For example, I can't really see much of the background. However, a kind of phone like this is meant for rugged outdoor use and occasional video recording, and with the 720p resolution it is obviously not going to dig out loads and loads of detail. So that is the front facing camera. We'll now switch to the rear camera and show you what that is all about. Okay, so this is the rear camera on the Doogee S90. Now it's a twin lens camera, so it's got a main 16 megapixel sensor, and it also has an 8 megapixel sensor, which is to help with depth effects and also portrait shots. Now it records video at up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. Again, there is no electronic image stabilization, and it also has single mono sound recording. Now, very much like the front facing camera, it doesn't have anything like HDR or dual phase detection autofocus or anything fancy like that. It does have autofocus, however, it just does that as you're moving around. Now, without any electronic image stabilization, it is a bit bumpy. However, I'm holding the phone very steady with two hands in order to stop the image from shaking too much. So let's check out detail and exposure. So point up to the sky, so you can see it's picking up the detail in the clouds as you move around. It kind of overexposes slightly as it compensates for things like the trees. And if I move up to the sky again, it then preferences detail in the clouds instead. Now there are a number of third-party applications such as Camera MX and also Open Camera. Now, I have tried those using their built-in stabilization software, but it doesn't seem that the phone supports that, unfortunately. So you are basically stuck with what the phone can do in its stock software. You can apply some After Effects in those other apps, such as filters, but for now this is what the video looks like from the stock camera software. Okay, so let's check out the autofocus from the camera. It gets a nice blurred background behind the subject. It's a little bit slow. There we go. The autofocus mechanism is nice and smooth, so it doesn't kind of snap back into place. It just gently moves back into position. So you can see as things are moving without any optical stabilization, it is sometimes difficult for the phone to get a lock on the subject. So there we go. So at least it looks nice and sharp and it gets up plenty of detail from those leaves. I'm sure that Doogee would be able to push out a software update for this phone. It does run on a Helio processor. It's not a Snapdragon based phone. And I'm sure it is something they could fix with a future software revision. Just show you with a quick run. You can see there, very, very bumpy. I have to be careful where I'm standing here. Lots of uneven rocks on the floor. So look out into some more dense scenery. So again, the software exposure is increasing there to get loads of detail out of the shadows here, but it's blowing out what's above. So if I move, you can see the mountains in the distance. So again, priority on this, not so much on this, which is now completely dark. If I push the screen, there we go. That then exposes the entire image, and I can increase the brightness to there, or put it all the way down here. I just reset. So there we go. Now, one thing I will say is the microphone recording does seem to be very, very quiet. So for the purpose of the video, I have increased the volume in editing so you can actually hear me properly. Now you can apply saturation, highlights, shadow control, but you have to select that first before you hit the record button, so it's not something you can actually generate in real time. So to give you an example, this is the sunset filter, and it doesn't seem to make any difference whatsoever. I can see the little icon on the screen to show us that the effect has been applied. It does add a little bit of saturation to the sky. It's not as blue as that to the naked eye. But you get the idea. There are around 10 of these effects available, including night and night portrait, etc. However, this is how it looks in video. So not the usual barrage of video modes available on other handsets. Again, the intended purpose for this phone is for rugged outdoor use. And as a phone, it does very, very well. It's actually really enjoyable to use. But obviously, as an imaging device, it is quite basic and missing some of the features that you'll find in other less rugged handsets, shall we say. But you let me know what you think. What do you think of the video recording for the Doogee S90? Let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you're new here, then please consider subscribing so you don't miss more videos coming on the channel very soon. But for now, this has been my ultimate video test for the Doogee S90 rugged phone. My name's Mr. West, and I'll catch you guys later.